little bit what brought you in today. You mentioned, you've never been tested for HIV, and I'm just curious as to what brought you in this time.
I guess I kind of had the thought of why not. I hadn't ever done it. I know of people who've been tested, so I thought maybe it was time for myself.
Alright, so now the next set of questions only pertains to the last 12 months.
Okay.
And these questions go over sort of where you're at with risk. If you don't want to answer any of these questions, you're fine. That's totally fine.
Okay.
Alright, so within the last 12 months, have you had either vaginal or anal sex?
Yes, both.
Okay, and then was it with male, a female, and or someone who's transgendered?
Male and female.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, have you exchanged sex for drugs, money, or a place to stay?
With men, sometimes at clubs I'll meet some men, and if I tend to be a top, I'll say that, but I will become a bottom if there is something in exchange, yes.
Okay, gotcha. And then to your knowledge, have you had any partners within the last 12 months who also exchanged sex for drugs or money or something that they need?
I don't know, there's been so many people, I'm not sure.
Okay. Let's see, and then to your knowledge, have you had any partners who were HIV positive that you know of?
I don't know.
Okay, okay. And let's see, in the last 12 months, have you had any partners or any sex with partners when no condom is used? So any anal sex, vaginal sex without a condom? No?
I try to use condoms, I do, but it doesn't always happen.
Okay. And then any partners whose HIV status is unknown, meaning like you didn't ask or they weren't sure of their status?
I don't ever ask. Yeah, most of the time I don't ask.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. And then now, have you had more than one male partner in the last 12 months? So yes, right.
I don't remember how many people I slept with in
Yeah,
last month,
just not the number, but was it more than one?
Yes.
Okay. And then same thing, same question, but female.
Just one woman. I have a girlfriend.
Okay, gotcha. Let's see. And now, have you in the last 12 months have you injected drugs?
No. Fine.
Okay. As far as condoms go, do you have any like sort of beef with them, problems with them? Is there issues, or is it just sort of a, you find yourself, heat of the moment, maybe you've had a little couple drinks and it's sort of more, it's hotter or it's more intimate. What's your view on that?
Let's see. I think it's the time, it takes so much time to open it, get it on, and so on in the moment. I don't really like to use them, so it's about that one-on-one feeling.
So your response is very common. We hear that all the time. People don't want to wear condoms. The fact of the matter is condoms is not something, it's something that takes practice. A lot of people assume that, hey, just wear a condom every time for the rest of your life. You have to do that. It's not always that easy, and it doesn't really work out that way. It's not quite realistic. So, you have to strategize. Basically, coming up with different ways to incorporate condoms or harm reduction strategies into sex. So it's, for instance, so if you can't wear, so obviously a condom would protect you if you used it 100% of the time, but if you can't, topping, the only time, let's say, if you're not going to use a condom, use a top. Another thing you can do is always use a lot of lube. Lube is just as important as condoms, and really why that is because it helps prevent abrasions from happening. It also helps prevent the condom from breaking. People don't realize how important it is. Also, let me ask you this: the day after you have unprotected sex, do you feel anxious? Do you feel I don't, maybe that time I got infected? That sense of dread that comes in.
Sometimes, yes.
So it's you have to, what you can do is next time you're about to have sex with somebody, you can play the tape through about how that felt. You're getting tested today, so you're kind of getting a clean slate about how, what your status is, as far as, where you're at right now. And, the next time you have sex, if you can play that tape through about how it feels to, the next day, when after the sex is done, the person's gone, or whatever, how you feel about the situation and the fear and stuff.
That's good. That's wonderful to think of.
So have you ever had a rapid test kit done before?
No.
Okay. So it's real simple. It takes 20 minutes, and the results can come back 3 different ways.
20 minutes, that's it?
Yep. So the test results can come back 3 different ways, and that's reactive for HIV antibodies, non-reactive, or invalid. Invalid means the test kit was faulty, and we would just run another test kit. It's never happened, but just in case it did, that's what we would do. If it came back reactive, we would walk over to our main location and get blood work done, get you in contact with medical care, whatever kind of care you need. Get blood work, HIV levels done, confirmation test, everything. Okay. Now the window period for this test is 8 weeks. So that means that anything that happened within the last 8 weeks might not show up in this test, because this is an antibody test. It might take 8 weeks for the body to produce enough antibodies for it to show up on this test kit. So really what this test kit is good for is anything that happened 8 weeks ago and before.
Okay, so in the future then, I should take other tests for whatever may have happened to allow.
Well, what you would do is think about the last time you had a risky exposure, like unprotected sex of any sort, and then go 8 weeks ahead of that, and that would be the day that, it doesn't have to be the exact date, but just roughly 8 weeks ahead of that.
Okay.
So let me see the bottom side of your middle finger of the hand you don't write with. Okay. So, one step first. So leave your finger there for 1 second. Let me get a drop of blood. And you're a bleeder. This is good. Alright. So let me see that finger again.
Oops, sorry.
That's alright. Let's get you a Band-Aid. Is that too tight?
Oh, that's fine.
Excellent. Okay. So, the way the test kit works is pretty simple. The solution will travel up the channel, and a line will form next to that C right there. That's called the control line. It lets us know the test kit is working. Now in 20 minutes we'll look at the test kit again. If it was to come back reactive, a second line would appear at that T.
Okay.
And so
if there's no line below, that means
no HIV.
not reactive.
Yeah, non-reactive. Alright, so the 20 minutes are up, and we can take a look at the test results. Okay.
Okay.
Alright, so as you can see here, there's just one single line at the C at the control line, which means no HIV antibodies were detected.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Typically what this means is a non-reactive test means, the person does not have HIV. But
HIV negative, okay.
But the thing I said about window period, the window period is roughly 8 weeks. So if there is any sort of high-risk exposure, meaning unprotected anal or vaginal sex, really, that's the high-risk stuff, within the last 8 weeks, you'll need to get a second test to determine if these test results are accurate.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, no, I will be on top of that. I have to. I guess, how soon should that happen?
Well, so what you can do is think back, when was the last time, think back the date, or roughly the date you had unprotected sex, and then go 8 weeks ahead of that. So let's say it happened a week ago. You would go in 7 weeks and come back in 7 weeks and get a test.
Okay, yeah, that was about a week and a half ago.
Okay, so yeah, roughly 7.5 weeks, or 6.5 weeks. Any questions about, do you need condoms or lube or anything like that?
Oh yes, I would love to get some free condoms.
Absolutely. We can give you, we'll give you as much as you can possibly carry. We literally have like 1 million condoms in this
No, I mean if they're free, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and then do you need paperwork saying, that giving you your test results? Because we can also offer that.
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. We'll do that after this.
And that way I have some sort of proof for my girlfriend as well to show her.
Okay, excellent. So we're all set.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. So the test results, 20 minutes are up and the test results are ready. We can go ahead and look at them. Okay, so this test result, as you can see, there's 2 lines there, which means the test result came back reactive for HIV antibodies.
You mean I have HIV?
We call it reactive for HIV antibodies. Yes, it typically means that the person is HIV positive.
Oh.
But what we'll do is we'll go do a confirmatory blood draw. Basically, what happens going forward, we're sort of, we're lucky at Fenway. We have the opportunity to, guide you through the process of dealing with this whole thing. We're health navigators, so we would go through the process with you of, getting you access to care, medication, and other things of that sort. Right now, do you have any questions for me? Is off the top of your head? I know this is a lot of information for you to deal with right now.
Yes, I'm just in shock. I guess, what is the accuracy of this test?
Accuracy is roughly 99 point some. I mean, I don't know the exact percentile, but it's extremely accurate. I've never seen a false positive on these.